कि मुझे ट्रिगर किया कि ऐसे एक वीडियो बनाना है ताकि बहुत सारे एस्पिरेंट्स को ये और अ गाइडेंस फ्रॉम समबडी हु इज नॉट क्वालिफाइड बेटर देन अस वी फील कि ये मुझे आइडिया दे देगा दे कैन शो then they are a proper DIPR trained assessors. You can get training from them. Why I'm saying this is yesterday I did one small kind of this thing because I found a link shown and it was shown, and then I also got a debrief कि this is okay, this is twice or thrice. So this is what as an assessor you are supposed to for the dream which you want to become or the dream which you want to achieve in and out. He knows, he understands what is seen, he can guide you again. So keep that always in your mind. Other people just by purely then I'm not telling he can train. I am not telling he cannot train. He can train. But out to your real aspirant who is wanting. Hello aspirants. I am Lieutenant Commander Vimal Raj, a retired naval aviator and a group testing officer. इस वीडियो मैं ऐसे बनाया कि with a lot of conviction and वन इंसिडेंट कि मुझे ट्रिगर किया कि ऐसे एक वीडियो बनाना है ताकि बहुत सारे एस्पिरेंट्स को ये चीज बहुत ही जरूरी है. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मेनी एस्पिरेंट्स बिकॉज यू आर मिसिंग योर चांस प्योरली बिकॉज ऑफ पुअर गाइडेंस और अ गाइडेंस फ्रॉम समबडी हु इज नॉट क्वालिफाइड. बिकॉज जब हम एस्पिरेंट्स है हमको पता नहीं चलता किसके पास करना है, क्या है, व्हाट टू डू एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, तो वी नॉर्मली गो and then seek help from somebody who is somewhat better than us. We feel कि ये मुझे आइडिया दे देगा, ये मुझे हेल्प कर देगा, he can give me some guidance, coaching or whatever. Now इसमें इस प्रोसेस में as a candidate, from a candidate point of view कहाँ आप गलती कर सकते हैं वो चीज बता दो. Number one, taking tips from a recommended candidate or a repeater candidate. This is absolutely wrong. Reason being, taking tips from a recommended candidate. Now in SSB board conference, when the discussion happens over a candidate, and after that, normally what happens over a period of time with what I'm saying is from my experience in last 3 years in SSBs, कि हमेशा कैंडिडेट तीनों assessors से क्लियर नहीं होता. It will be mostly a case where 2 assessors are okay and the third technique the candidate has not performed as per the expectation or the criteria, but there are no negative things also among the candidate, and then the assessor takes a calculated call कि ठीक है with this the candidate with due training and academy he can pull up. तो वो सोच के उस कैंडिडेट को उस बोर्ड रेकमेंड करते हैं. दिस इज व्हाट नॉर्मली हैपेंस एंड देयर आर टाइम्स कैंडिडेट गेट क्लियर्ड बाय ऑल 3 assessors also. Now when a candidate is declared he is recommended, he does not know whether he has been recommended by all 3 assessors, or there are times where 2 assessors cleared and then the other assessor have come up for him, or there are times even it is possible ki you are cleared by single assessor and then the other 2 assessors come up for him. There are few criteria for all these things which we will not touch. But the candidate does not know how, whether or how many techniques he has cleared. Ultimately, he only knows कि he has been recommended. That does not give any authority to the candidate कि ऐसे करो. अब क्या होता है उस कैंडिडेट, मान लो let's take an example. I am a GTO, so I will tell from my aspect only. Now a candidate who is not cleared by a group testing officer and cleared by interviewing officer and psychologist. In the conference, I as an assessor with whatever I saw for last 2 days, and then I say, okay, this boy has some potential to pull up through the training and then he can become an officer करके मैं उसको पास कर दिया. अब कैंडिडेट बाहर आएगा बोलेगा मैं तो 4-5 ही ऑब्स्टेकल्स किया और मैंने तो रेकमेंड होगी. तो नाउ दिस विल पास अ रॉन्ग मैसेज टू ऑल द अदर एस्पिरेंट्स हु आर थिंकिंग कि 5 इंडिविजुअल ऑब्स्टेकल्स करके एक बात में रेकमेंड हो गया. वन कैंडिडेट हैज गॉट रेकमेंडेड. सो व्हाट इज द एसएसबी डूइंग? तो ऐसे एक चीज तो वैसे घूमते हैं. अ लॉट ऑफ मिथ्स हैज बीन क्रिएटेड लाइक दिस. एंड उस कैंडिडेट ने स्पेसिफिकली इंटरव्यू और साइकोलॉजी में कितना परफॉर्म किया किसी को भी नहीं पता. नाउ द कैंडिडेट कम्स एंड टेल्स कि ऐसे स्टोरी लिख दो आप फिट हो जाएंगे, ऐसे आइडियाज दे दो आप फिट हो जाएंगे, इंटरव्यू में ऐसे आंसर दे दो. ब्रदर्स, ऑल बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स, व्हाट यू आर सपोज्ड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज this boy is just telling from his own experience कि मैंने ऐसे परफॉर्म किया. That is not the thumb rule for all of you कि मैं वैसे पास करो कि मैं भी पास हो जाऊंगा. Not possible. Take it guaranteed. ठीक है? So if you are listening to a repeater or a conference out guy, like for example, or a screen out or a recommended, you ask any other aspirant, he is gonna just tell what he has observed in his own life. That is not a yardstick for you to कि ऐसे ही करना है. No, please don't do that. Number 2, getting trained from a retired armed forces officer or a Jawan, or who has been a part of armed forces sometime or later in their life, whatever time, whether 3 months, 5 months, 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, whatever, 15 years. So now thinking he knows or she knows everything about armed forces. No, they will not know everything about armed forces, especially SSB though 100% no. If somebody is guiding you, again they are guiding you purely based on their experience of their SSB which they given 10 or 15 years back, and then also with what are their own friends, and then what are the kind of officers they are seeing. I mean, generally you can make out कि ऐसे करने से SSB clear हो सकता है. तो again they are also guiding you purely based on their experience. Now I'll tell you the third thing. Now, how tough is to become an assessor per se? A course strength will be normally, it is of combined of all three services. The course is being conducted by DIPR, Defense Institute of Psychological Research, which is also a part of DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. They have a process. They conduct courses in two parts, a theoretical phase. Once you clear the theoretical phase, then you get on to go for your practical phase. Whoever clears theoretical phase, they go for their practical training. Once the practical training gets over, then even sure it is not you will get appointment to an SSB. No, based on your performance in your practical training, the assessor gets an appointment into SSB, or he will just clear the course. He may not have done any appointment in SSB. This is very, very important for you aspirants to understand. Not all DAPR qualified assessors do an appointment in SSBs. So why this is very important is, like in my practical phase, I have done about 10 batches, in which on an average of around 8 to 10 was the strength of per batch. So now my experience will be around 80 to 100 candidates in stage 2. With that, if I'm training you, it is again wrong. I may not be able to tell you everything. Okay, or I may not be able to see so many varied number of candidates and all those things. So that is what you are supposed to understand. Okay, if you do an SSB appointment, what is great you can do, or what magic as an assessor you can do? Again, I'm telling you, it is very minimal, because when I do on 3 years of appointment as a group testing officer, I have done more than about 750 candidates. Now, with this 750 candidates, what I saw, I can consolidate, because now the samples are more. I have seen more than 750 candidates. So I can clearly tell, okay, if these are the few things, this could be groomed, and then the other things can be easily pulled along as a. So now if you're going, now imagine for yourself, if you're getting trained by a recommended candidate, or a candidate who is not recommended and running some coaching academies, there are so many in the country, and then, or just an officer who has not done any this thing in as an assessor, just an officer, or an assessor who has not done an appointment, just did only training, and an assessor who has done an SSB. Now these are the 5 people available for you. पूरी देश में ये 5 जगह आपको मिलेंगे, या कोई सेलर जवान भी मिल जाते हैं आपको. मैं किसी का ये नहीं बोलूंगा कि ये वो गलत कर रहा है, सही कर रहा है. दैट आई लीव इट टू यू. आई एम टेलिंग एज ए कैंडिडेट कि आप क्या सोचना है. एज ए कैंडिडेट आपको सोचना है whom you should get trained under. Now, जो भी इन 5 कैटेगरी में सबके पास रिजल्ट है. इट इज नॉट कि कोई रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट वो किसी को कैसे बोल के वो रिकमेंड हुआ कि नहीं हो, उनके पास भी कैंडिडेट रिजल्ट्स है. दे आल्सो हैव रिकमेंडेशन. एवरीबडी हैज गॉट रिकमेंडेशंस, बट आउट ऑफ हाउ मेनी सैंपल्स कितने रिकमेंडेशंस, या आउट ऑफ हाउ मेनी अटेम्प्ट्स कितने रिकमेंडेशंस इज व्हाट एज अ सेंसिबल कैंडिडेट कि you can think कि मैं किसके पास जाना चाहता हूं. मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगा कि all of you come to me. No. One more thing I'll tell you. I am a group testing officer. If you come to me, I am not going to train you for psychology in interview. It is for sure. The day I decided to open my own coaching academy, Colonel and Commander Defense Academy, it is also made as a part of my vision and mission कि मैं दूसरे ट्रेनिंग को points नहीं दूंगा, दूसरे टेक्निक को. I'll teach because I'm an expert in group testing technique. I'll speak only about that. If the present batch, even the running batches or the earlier batches, mujhse if they are asking me any doubts regarding psychology, I don't guide them. I tell them to please refer to the psychologist. That's how proper training has to be done. Because if I'm telling something about psychology, that is also wrong. Because I don't know anything. Whatever I saw in the conference and minor interaction with that, I can't tell you do this, do that. No, that is not right. So as sensible candidates, you must be aware. Okay, I can give you one solution. You all are going to so many academies across the country, North India, Central India, South India. There are so many academies which has got three set of assessors, 4 set of assessors and all. You are paying about 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, whatever money you are paying with food and accommodation. You have the rights to ask for a certificate which is given by DIPR, which says that this particular officer is a trained assessor by SSB, by DIPR for doing out the duties of group testing officer, psychologist as if they are civilians, and if they are a service officer, then it will be written as technical officers, and for interviewing officer, it will be written as interviewing officer. You can ask for the certificate. You ask it. Every assessor will have this certificate. If they can produce, if they can show, then they are a proper DIPR trained assessors. You can get training from them. Why I'm saying this is, yesterday I did one small kind of this thing because I found a link and then I got a Google Meet connection where I joined. And I also just acted like a candidate who's giving a narration for one of the pictures shown. And it was shown. And then I also got a debrief. This is okay, you have to improve on this. Is all random general things which is said. And for which, after some point in time, people believe, oh, they are good assessors. When I asked the team, okay, what have you done in assessment? They said, we are from the armed forces background. We are all studied in army public school. We are armed forces brats. And then we are all recommended twice, thrice. I see. Now, who's going to cross check whether they have got recommended twice or thrice? So this is what, as an assessor, you are supposed, like as a candidate, when you are joining किसी coaching center में, you must be able to identify who's your trainer, do they have a certificate, and then can they train you well, have they done an SSB appointment. These are few things you can check and then pay, because you are paying money for the dream which you want to become or the dream which you want to achieve. You have all the rights to demand for a certificate. Please do that. Okay, sir, if I don't want to pay any money, I want to get trained by a recommended candidate. Choice is totally yours. You may get recommended in the first attempt or 10th attempt or 15th attempt. But only thing is, I can guarantee tell you, if you get trained by an assessor who has done an SSB appointment, he knows the system in and out. He knows, he understands what is seen. He can guide you. Again, I'm not telling you, he cannot guide you 100% because change has to come from you. You are writing, you are performing, you are speaking in front of the interview. The change has to come into your character. So, but he can always guide you. These are the few things which you can amend. These are the few things which you can change in yourself, which can produce results or which can shorten the journey of SSBs, like going, coming back. That can be reduced if you get trained by an assessor. So get trained by an assessor who has done an appointment, because they are the experts in that field. Rest all people are not an expert. Even for that, again, I'll reiterate ki us assessor bhi all three technique ka expert nahi hai. He is trained expert in only one particular technique. So keep that always in your mind. Other people just by purely that I'm not telling you a recommended candidate can train. An officer who served in armed forces, he can train. I am not telling he cannot train. He can train. But out of 100, he will also have 5 recommendations. I'm not telling he or she or a recommended candidate will have a 5 or take. I'm not telling anything. You are paying money. You must understand whom you should get, under whom you should get trained, or who can be your mentor. I hope this video will support a few aspirants, and it will save your money. It will help you to join a particular academy after some research, so that rightfully you can get a proper mentorship and then you can join the Indian Armed Forces as fast as possible. All the very best. Jai Hind. I am Lieutenant Commander Vimal Raj, a retired naval aviator, flew Dorniers as Naval Air Operations Officer, earlier called as Observer. And then I have served in SSB Calcutta as well as 12 SSB Bangalore. Many of the aspirants have already seen me personally in Bangalore also. And they are also getting trained under me. And if you want to join, you can always join Colonel and Commander Defense Academy, in short CCD Academy. The numbers, it's all given. If you like this video, you can please forward to your real aspirant who is wanting to become an officer. Okay, you can please forward to them and you can save somebody from getting spoiled and spending money. All the very best. Jai Hind.